Over the past couple of years, the Minnesota Vikings have not had the best luck finding defensive backs, or at least keeping defensive backs. We have had a very tough time finding somebody to be a staple in the secondary for quite some time. Harrison Smith has been here, and he's the longest tenured player in the secondary by far. It's not even a close comparison to the rest of them, right? Byron Murphy Jr. you could put up there, but he isn't tenured here long enough to really put him in that category. But he's been staying healthy and stuff like that. Minnesota just can't seem to break out of the bad luck that we've had finding defensive backs, right? We draft some guys, they end up not working out. Some tragically, unfortunately, just, pass away, which, thoughts and prayers to everyone's family. It's a very unfortunate situation. But yesterday, we lose our number two defensive back, who is actually going to probably take over the nickel position, Mekhi Blackmon, to a torn ACL. Okay, done for the season. So right when that happens, the Minnesota Vikings are looking for one position and one position only, that being the cornerback position. We got to find somebody. We got to add more depth to that room so that we can figure out what our roster is going to look like come week one of the regular season. And the Vikings didn't waste no time. I'm not sure if this is going to be a done deal, or like this is, or I'm not sure if this is going to, pan out to what they hope it might be, or if this is going to be the final move they make at the defensive back position. But today, the Vikings made some moves. They actually signed two players and had to release one of them. Who are they? Well, let's get right to it. Before we do, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So, per the Vikings website, they say that the Vikings on Thursday signed linebacker Jabril Cox and cornerback Jacoby Francis after both participated in tryouts on Wednesday. Now, the pair joined Minnesota the day after the team's first practice of 2024 training camp, in which second-year cornerback Mekhi Blackmon suffered a torn ACL. Now, Blackmon was placed on injured reserve, delaying his opportunity to build on a promising rookie campaign. He recorded 8 passes defended, an interception, and a fumble recovery in 15 games, where he had 3 starts last season. Now, additionally, the Vikings waived undrafted rookie linebacker KJ Cloyd, who we talked about briefly in a video not too long ago, right after the draft was over and done with. We had to make a bunch of videos. You guys probably seen that one about KJ Cloyd. He ends up getting released because we have to make some room. Now, adding Mekhi Blackmon to the injured reserve freed up a roster spot, which is why we were able to add one of these guys without having to release somebody. But adding 2 players, obviously, that means you have to let somebody go, and KJ Cloyd was that man. So, who is Jabril Cox? Well, Cox has appeared in 26 NFL games with Dallas and Washington since 2021, when he joined the Cowboys as a 4th-round draft pick. Now, he has played 46 defensive snaps and 511 special team snaps in the NFL, which is some good news, because that means there's a good chance this guy makes the team as a special teamer. Now, the 26-year-old from Kansas City, Missouri, began his college career at North Dakota State. Go big, go blue, go Jacks, okay? I'm a jackrabbit, all right, where he helped the Bison go 45-1. Okay, that's when they were dominant, right, and win 3 consecutive FCS championships from 2017 to 2019. I was actually at South Dakota State during that 2017 run. Boy, were they good, the Bison, that is. But Cox was a graduate, transferred to LSU in 2020, and he started all 10 games for the Tigers in 2020, ranking 3rd on the team with 58 tackles, and added 6.5 tackles for loss, a sack, and 3 interceptions. So this guy has a high motor. He's a top-tier player. I mean, he was a 4th-round draft pick. There's a lot to like about this guy. There's a good chance he could see the field at some point in the season, pending, obviously injuries, or if somebody gets tired, I'm sure he could step in and produce at least at a decent enough level. He's proved in the past that he can play some snaps, but not a lot. He's mainly just a special teamer, which is why I think we signed him, because we're looking for more competition in that special teams room. And also Najee Thompson, who knows when his timeline is to return. So Jabril Cox finds his way on the Minnesota Vikings roster. Now, as for Jacoby Francis, the Memphis product and native of Covington, Georgia, was invited to participate in this year's rookie minicamp on a pro tryout basis. Now, Francis appeared in 5 games for the Houston Texans in 2022, logging 76 snaps and 1 tackle on special teams. He joined Houston as an undrafted free agent after spending 2016 through 2021 with the Memphis Tigers. Now, at Memphis, okay, Francis appeared in 61 games, recorded 129 tackles, where he had 103 solo tackles. He had 10 and a half tackles for loss, 6 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. I really like what I see out of this guy so far. Again, not somebody that you're going to, that's going to jump off the paper at you and make you go, wow, he's going to be a day one starter, because guess what? He's been in the NFL. He tried to make a roster. That didn't pan out. He was an undrafted free agent, but I'm not saying there's still not a chance, or still a chance for him to make the roster. I believe he has that opportunity, especially with the Vikings being so short-staffed at the cornerback position. We need somebody with a high motor. We need somebody that's not afraid to go out there and make some plays. And granted, look, expectations for the Vikings this year aren't the greatest, right? You don't expect us to go out there and win a Super Bowl this season. That's just not reality. The reality of the season is we might make the playoffs, or we'll probably finish third in the division and miss the playoffs, and that's okay, because I think that's what is going to happen this season, unfortunately. I hope we make the playoffs. That's the ultimate goal, is make the playoffs, give your team a chance to make a run at the Super Bowl. But if Francis plays like he did at Memphis with the Minnesota Vikings, boy, we could have found a gem, okay? A diamond in the dirt, if you will. I mean, this guy, he went out there and he balled out for the Memphis Tigers. That's a different level of football, not a high-level college program down there, but at the same time, if he produces like that for us this season, I'd be absolutely ecstatic to have him on the roster, and I know the Minnesota Vikings organization will as well. That's probably why we went out and signed him, said, hey, this guy can do it, but can he do it at a high level? Can he do it in the National Football League? We're going to find out in just a short amount of time. And now, again, I'm not 100% certain if this is the last move the Minnesota Vikings will make, because, again, that cornerback room is short-staffed. We need to add some more depth, some more pieces, some more high-caliber some more high-caliber players. I've seen some names floated out there. Marshawn Lattimore is a real option from the Saints to help them maybe clear up some cap, even though we would have to take some of that on. I think the Vikings could do it, but is that a guy we really want to bring in? Somebody that basically has taken a dive in production the last couple of seasons? I'm not 100% certain that's what the Vikings want to do, but at the same time, we still need to add pieces to that room to help out the injury-plagued cornerbacks and the unfortunate series of events that have taken place over this past month. So there you have it. The Vikings signed 2 players, linebacker Jabril Cox. He played 5 seasons, I believe, or 6 seasons, something like that, with Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders, or the Washington football team, or whatever it was at that point, and also signed Jacoby Francis, who played for the Houston Texans for a short period of time as an undrafted free agent. So we'll see how things work out. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of the night, folks, and Skol Vikes.